Okay, welcome to my second video where I go into my pitching staff. So let's go into it. All right, so I've actually been very fortunate. I've been able to pull, combo, or purchase or get for free multiple legends. I have 8 legends. I have 7 so far, and one actively on my team, and I would actually like to try to get Molitor in my team. So fortunately, 3 of the legends I got are really good legend starting pitchers, or you can say Sutton and Feller are. I mean, Glavin I think should have a higher OVR, but he's an OVR third 73. But either way, they're really powerful cards, and they are better than Sigs when they have 3. At least in my opinion, I'm sure there's a lot of really good, talented, and guys or gals who know way more than me about this game. But I actually pulled out a low level 70 OVR signature pitcher, Vinny Velasquez, and replaced him with Don Sutton when I got him with the first legend pack. I originally was bummed because I wanted a position player, but ended up GIing and getting good skills on Sutton and never look back. And then I just had a Sig starting pitcher on sitting around not doing anything. So actually, when I got a team dupe from Team Select, I ended up rolling and getting a shortstop. So it actually worked out really well. So right now, pitching is the thing I really need to work on. Like I have like some really good strengths, but I actually have some glaring weaknesses that I think are actually preventing me from actually meeting my goal. My goal is I would like to actually get to a OVR of 120. I actually want to get to the point where I'm comfortably competing for Diamond 2. Even if I don't make it, I really want to be toward there, and I hopefully would like to be in a point where maybe in a couple years or so, maybe I can actually have a legitimate shot for getting into the tournament. But anyway, really, I know that right now pitching is number one, and I have some glaring holes. So first, let's start with my big problem child, which is Cole Hamels. Cole Hamels is actually one of my favorite players as a kid. I'm a huge fan of the 2006 to 2012 Philadelphia Phillies that had Ryan Howard, Chase Utley, Cole Hamels, Roy Halladay. So I just have a real fondness for those particular set of Phillies. And I really was excited when I pulled Cole Hamels before he got pulled from the game. I actually have a really good train. I just deliberately was looking for a finesse pitcher train for him. He's actually really easy to train for finesse pitcher, and I actually got a great train. Probably a lot more to fastball and break than most players would like, but I actually feel like that's a good train, and I'm not really looking to move away from it. The issue is that I just really have spent like close to 300 skill change tickets and at least close to like 30 or 40 premium select tickets, and I just have never really gotten a good skill set on him. Right now, I'm currently running Fireballer and Touch, which is actually not great at all. I usually have an ERA of around 2.2 to 2.4 in rank up until Diamond 1. He usually is a 50. He usually wins about 50% of his games. He usually loses about 18 to 25 games. I've seen him lose as many as 30 games a cycle. He just really that skill set is just not a really good skill set at all. And I've never really had a great skill set. I don't know what it is. I just can't seem to pull it. So right now in slot 2, I have a triple set. I actually have dominant pitcher, touch, and I think 3, 4, 5. Uh, that skill set, that silver skill that has increased stats for the 3, 4th, and 5th batter. So that's actually something I'm going to make a priority, and like I really would love to roll finesse pitcher, boss, and touch on him, or a finesse pitcher, boss, and dominant pitcher is really what I'm looking for. I really have made a decision for myself that I'm not really going to be chasing after legend skill sets on non-legend or historical cards, and the reason why is just like I just don't. I think the chances are just really low, And I think the power of the legends really come from the fact that if you can get like a high number, and it's just to me, it's just too much of a gamble, and I'm not. That's not. I'm not comfortable with it. So I much rather make with Metro Analytics coined as manufacturer legends and just be happy with that. So he's my number one project to try to get like a workable skill set so that he's not like a black hole for losses. Now Bob Feller is actually I'm actually really proud of Bob Feller because I pulled him from a silver pack like really early in playing this game, and I actually think it's really cool. He's always been one of my top pitchers, but since he's gotten control master, dominant pitcher, and stability, he has been hands down my best pitcher. Where he has ERA that's anywhere between zero point 0.7 and zero point 0.9 up until Diamond One. Actually, I really want to roll another goal skill, preferably last boss on him, or even find finesse pitcher. I rather last boss because I hate training and I don't want to train him again. I know it's not the greatest train, but I just hate training. Uh, but he actually does really well, and ever since he's got stability, he's been my best pitcher. So right now, he's not a priority until all the other pitchers are done. Tom Glavine is actually another good pitcher for me. I actually had a more balanced train where it was actually a lot, like almost like 37 to location and velocity. But I really have noticed that he should be doing a little bit better than I think. And I think the issue is the touch. I rolled slow starter on him really quickly with last boss, and he's been doing really well. He had inning eater at one point, and I got greedy and ended up rolling touch and thought that that was going to be better. It really hasn't been great. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong. His ERA is anywhere between zero point 0.9 and 1.2. But he's prone to first inning blowups, especially the further I get into the week. So I really feel that if he can get touch, he would be like unbelievable. So much so that I'm determined to get finesse that I actually figured out the train I needed to get touch. So that as soon as I can get finesse pitcher, as soon as I get it, he will be fine. So he's actually once Cole and my bullpen is a little bit more settled. He's going to be one of the ones that if I have like a bunch of tickets, I'm going to go for it and just go for it. Don Sutton has been really good for me. He has cooperative pitching, which is not super great. So essentially, he runs with finesse pitcher and cooperative pitcher, and then when he gets in trouble, cleaning up his mess kicks in. He actually has been a big focus for me. Every time I get premium skill change tickets, I usually go for him and then throw a couple at Dawson. But my goal is I really want control master for fireballer or slow starter on him, along with finesse pitcher, and I think that he will be set. So I'm just using this right now as a temporary set. Like he's doing okay. His ERA is usually about 1.4 per cycle. Every now and then he does really well. It has like an ERA that's closer to one. Uh, his whip is always really low, so it's interesting. You would think he would does a little bit better, and maybe he would do better if he had another active blue skill like boss or something. But right now, I actually rather just try to get like a top tier legend skill and just put the work in. And then Nola is another one of my favorite cards simply because I pull them as a diamond, and everybody gets happy when you pull a team select Sig as a diamond. He was a diamond and he was 75. And I actually was able to get finesse boss and cleaning up his mess really quickly on him. So he actually was my best pitcher until I actually got a feller with his three skills. He has a really good train. His finesse pitcher, he does really well. I actually thought he would do worse than he does. I mean, I know boss and finesse are really good, but I didn't think that cleaning up your mess would hold up as well as it does into diamond. But he actually is consistently my second best pitcher. At times, he can even be really competing on the level with Feller. He usually has an ERA around 1.1, 1.2 tops. And he does really well. So I'm convinced that if I have a time, if I can get like another active third skill, I think he would do really well. But right now, he's a really good card. There's really not much to do with him, and I'm just not going to mess around with him until I get to the point where I don't have anything else to do. My bullpen is starting to come together. I actually have made a commitment to myself that I'm actually going to continue to go with team select pitchers and really try to get my bullpen together. I'm actually happy about how it's coming together, and I'm actually really happy that they added Tug McGraw and Steve Bedrosian. Has a SIG version of his card now, and also too, there's also quite a few signature relief pitchers for the Phillies that are really good. So we'll go into my bullpen. So actually, Ken Giles is my first SIG. I didn't know anything about pulling SIGs at all until I had him. And actually, I almost comboed him away because I didn't know what it was. He wasn't a diamond; he was a gold, and I had a gold. I had a diamond Ken Giles 14, so I didn't. Thankfully, I stopped myself and looked and did research and found out that they were like awesome cars. So he was actually my first SIG. He does okay. Dominant pitcher and bosser is a good combination, but touch doesn't seem like it helps him all that much. He was doing okay as my closer for a while, but he was prone to blow a lot of games as I got on Saturday and Sunday because it's not a closer set, and honestly, it would probably be great if it had like winning streak. So my goal is probably at some point to roll something on this to try to like find some like, a better combination of skills. But right now he's doing okay in relief pitching, and I kind of see him staying there for a little while longer. Goose is actually one of my favorite cards I've ever pulled. Mainly because I was doing a random vintage combo. I never expect to get anything from those vintage combos, but I know that you won't have a chance unless you try. And I ended up pulling him, and that was really cool. He was a bullpen card I needed. He was the legend I really wanted, and I got him, and he's just as cool as everyone says he is. I would not. I'm not. I have pitcher's chemistry, and we'll see that. But I'm sorry, relief pitching is king in this game, and I just can't see myself personally wasting a legend at that position. I know it gives you an extra OVR, but I'm not really right now. I'd rather have Goose actively helping my team. So right now he has Control Master and Blast Boss, and he does really well. I actually think that he's a better relief pitcher for me than Ken Giles. He's been a stinker for me. I can't seem to get a third great skill. I would love to get Dom pitcher. This is probably one of the few instances where I wouldn't mind getting touch because I think Control Master and touch seem to work pretty well. I've seen a few higher level teams do that. But I would prefer to pull finesse pitcher or dominant pitcher. Hopefully, dominant pitcher because I don't feel like retraining him because he's actually got a really good train right there. Ranger Suarez is actually really excited about. He was who I pulled for Team Select last week. He's actually one of the best reliever cards for the Phillies. It's a little overflated. He's 70, but he started a lot of games in 2021. He actually ended the year as a starter, so his stamina is really high. But either way, this is a really good reliever card. I got really fortunate. I was able to pull two triple threes. This one has last Boston winning streak, which I know is not great for middle relief, but and then the other one is Dom pitcher touch, and I think again 3, 4, 5 that silver skill. Either way, I want to roll some blues after I kind of fix Hamill on him. I'm sorry, not blues, greens or blues. I haven't decided which one I want to do yet, but he's going to be a really good card for me, and I'm really excited about that. Uh, Sorry, Anthony Dominguez is just kind of a placeholder. He's actually a really good relief pitcher card for us. I'm hoping to pull him. I would have been really happy to pull him as well last week, but I didn't. I pulled Suarez, so either way, I'm happy. I'm hoping to pull his card really soon. Blake Parker is a 64 card. He's actually retired. He has a SIG, so there's really not much chance I'll pull him unless he gets signed or something like that. And then I have on Bedrock, Steve Pendrosian, a 67 base vintage card. Really good train. He actually was a really good bullpen arm for me for a while, but now he's like languishing in long relief because he has pitcher's chemistry. I'm really super excited about uh, his signature vintage card, and if I pull him, I would definitely maybe think about maybe moving Goose to long relief. I really don't want to do that, but that would be really cool to have Bedrock and Tug McGraw and all that. And then also one of the best reliever cards for the Phillies, Al Holland. He's a base 69, has really low stamina, even though he's a vintage card. Fantastic stats, really more geared to being a dominant pitcher, but I'm really seeing that, especially after the tournament, it seems like a lot of the higher end teams ran finesse pitcher on most of their cards, especially their bullpen. I was actually really pleasantly surprised to see how many relief pitchers on those top tier teams were running like some combination of finesse pitcher and something else. So I really kind of made the decision that I'm going to emulate them because I want to be where they are. So I really tried to get a good finesse pitcher train on him and got one that I'm really satisfied with. I mean, it's completely going against what he has, but this is just a placeholder set. It's triple three. He's been a stinger for me, but I'm going to try to roll better skills on him with the next time we get blues and greens. He's a priority after Hamels. Really, the three cards I'm going to be working on is Hamels, Suarez, and Holland. And if I can get those together and have a little bit left over, then maybe I might do something with one of my other starters. But he's actually doing really well. I'm actually surprised. He actually is doing much better at closer in rank and club battle than Giles. Like, even though dominant pitcher is not getting the bonus, dominant pitcher winning streak and pitching machine has done really well. He was actually doing really poorly when he had dominant pitcher and winning streak in a bronze and a dominant train. He was blowing a lot of games or not doing very well in middle relief at all. He was actually a relief pitcher for me. I actually rolled pitching machine and changed his train to a finesse pitcher train, and actually, because I was bored one night, and he actually has been doing really well to the point where I wouldn't even consider moving him out of the closer position unless I really just did. I kind of jacked up the set by doing like blues and greens or something like that. So right now he's doing solidly, so I'm happy. I don't know why, because I don't know why pitching machine is making that big of a deal, but I guess it's a much better skill than people give it credit for. So that's really it on the pitching side. So right now my priority is to really fix Hamels, because if I can get him to the point where he's, a good fourth, or at least just getting to the point where he's got an ERA to 1.4 and he is winning more than he's losing, then I'm convinced that I can actually maybe get up about 50 to 75 ranks. And then, of course, if I can kind of get Ranger maybe up and running and fix Holland and maybe move Giles to middle relief, I actually feel that that'll get rid of some blown games. I mean, my bullpen is much better since I've actually got control master on Goose. Because Goose, my relief pitchers and setup guys were blowing a lot of games. But now they're doing a little bit better, and I feel like I'm more competitive. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys. As my goal right now is to really try to get my next Black Diamond up, which is Segura, and get him fully special trained. I really would like to pull a legend skill on Don Sutton, and I would like to pull another legend skill on, or a legend skill that's useful on Andre Dawson. And then, of course, I would like to finish up special training on Babe Ruth, but not a priority. I think I'm going to wait until I have about 20 or 30 million coins because it's just so expensive. But most of my trains are really, really good, unless or stable right now, unless I roll something really magnificent on one of my pitchers. So I don't really have a whole lot to do right now. Team Select went really good for me. So really, right now, I'm waiting for blues and greens and premium skill change tickets. So thanks for listening, and I talk to you guys later.